In the powerful and secretive world of Uptown, Haley and Randy's lives begin to crumble as their conspiracy unravels. Haley, Bill's mysterious wife, has built a lavish life with everything she could ever want: power, wealth, and lavish parties. But behind that perfect facade, she feels suffocated in a loveless and understanding marriage with Bill. Bill, a rich and powerful man, is everything Haley could ever want in a husband, but love is absent, replaced by control and domination. Over the years of marriage, Haley has built herself a perfect shell, always being the obedient wife, taking care of the family, and maintaining her reputation. But inside, her heart has long since died. She never loved Bill, or at least not the way a wife should love her husband. Bill was simply a means to get what she wanted: wealth, fame, and power. She felt trapped in this marriage and decided to find a way out. That's when Randy appeared. A charming, talented, and cunning man. He was a master con artist, knowing how to make people trust and exploit the naivety of others. The relationship between Haley and Randy was not a coincidence, but a deliberate conspiracy. The two worked together to plan to eliminate Bill, not only physically, but also in terms of power and wealth. A fake miscarriage staged by Randy created a bond between them, leaving Bill in no doubt about Haley and Randy's true intentions. This incident made Bill even more worried about Haley's health, and his doubts about his marriage became even more blurred. The plan to kill Bill was detailed, but everything began to fall apart as secrets were exposed. Danny and Vanessa, two powerful women in this world, accidentally discovered the secret relationship between Randy and Haley. Rumors of their conspiracy began to spread. Danny and Vanessa, with their wide connections and sharp wit, began to track Haley and Randy. A tense confrontation at the casino caused everything to explode. Joey, Bill's right-hand man, accidentally discovered Randy and was forced to confront him. Randy, a clever con man, tried to justify his actions, but suspicions of a plan to kill Bill became more and more obvious. In that moment, Haley could no longer maintain the calm she once had. All the years of being trapped in a loveless marriage suddenly turned into bloody tears. She felt as if everything was about to slip away from her hands. Was her goal simply to escape this marriage? Or did she have some deeper conspiracy? Did she ever love Bill? Or did she just see him as a means to the life she always wanted? This question not only torments Haley's mind but also makes her face herself. Can ambition replace love and compassion in a marriage? Bill, up until this point, has never doubted his marriage. He has completely trusted Haley, his beautiful and perfect wife. But as secrets are exposed, everything begins to change. Bill has been deceived for a long time, and now the truth is slowly coming out. He begins to wonder if there is something he does not know about Haley. Did he have doubts about his marriage all along, or was it all naivety, the absolute trust a man has for his wife? As the plan to kill Bill is almost complete, an unexpected factor causes everything to fall apart. Joey, with absolute loyalty to Bill, begins to have doubts about Randy. He discovers something unusual about Randy's actions and decides to investigate further. Through his connections, Joey begins to uncover clues to the conspiracy. He learns that this is not just a simple betrayal, but a plot that could completely change the power dynamics within the family and the company. Can Joey get this information to Bill before it's too late? As the scheme is exposed, the relationships within the Dupree family begin to change. Everyone begins to realize that their lives are not always as perfect as they appear. Haley is no longer the dutiful wife but an ambitious woman, willing to sacrifice everything to achieve her goals. Randy, despite being a con man, becomes a pawn in the power game that Haley is controlling. And then, the biggest question arises. Can ambition and desperation change a person's character? Can Haley and Randy find themselves again after their plot is broken? Can love, if it really exists, change their decisions, or will they continue to pursue their ambitions regardless of the consequences? The answer to these questions is not simply a personal choice, but also a reflection of human nature and the lengths people are willing to go to for power, wealth, and control. The battle in this world of power and intrigue is never-ending, and people like Haley and Randy will forever be caught in a spiral of ambition, betrayal, and conflicting decisions. But as the truth begins to be revealed, relationships that seemed solid begin to crack. Bill, a man who always considered himself smart, suddenly realizes that he has been lied to all this time. The lavish life Haley had built for him is now just a curtain covering a lie. The long, cold nights, the lavish parties, and the sweet words of love Haley once said are now just faded memories, full of lies. He could not imagine that the wife he trusted the most could be involved in such a dark plot. Can he accept this betrayal? Can he forgive her or decide to boycott all the things she has done? This deception has put Bill in a corner, forcing him to face difficult choices, not only about maintaining power or wealth, but also about deeper issues in his soul. However, Bill is not entirely innocent in all this. His heart, although wounded, cannot deny that he has been somewhat indifferent to Haley over the years. He has been too absorbed in work, power struggles, and personal ambitions, forgetting that his marriage is gradually fading. Is Bill also responsible for this betrayal? If he had cared more about Haley, understood her suffering, maybe things would not have come to this. And then, just as Haley and Randy's plot was about to be carried out, an unexpected factor appeared, disrupting all plans. An unexpected person, a person who had always been on the sidelines, now became the one who could change the situation. Vanessa. Vanessa, although not directly involved in any of the plots, was a person of great influence in high society. She had known about her part in the plot for a long time, but did not rush to act. Instead, she carefully observed, waiting for the right moment to bring everything to light. Vanessa, who had a complicated relationship with Bill, realized that Haley was not simply a wife who had failed in love. She was an ambitious woman, someone who would do anything to achieve her goals. But what Haley did not know was that Vanessa could read the smallest signs in the actions and words of others. She discovered an important detail: Randy had begun to act more stealthily, and the vague traces in the conversations between Haley and Randy had aroused her suspicions. At a party, when everyone was drunk with alcohol and small talk, Vanessa decided to take action. She did not directly confront Haley, but instead chose an indirect way to apply pressure. She found a way to meet Randy discreetly, asking questions full of hidden meanings, making him unable to help but feel suspicious. Vanessa's words, with the sharpness of a seasoned woman, seemed to touch Randy's weak points. The more he tried to maintain a calm face, the more he showed signs of anxiety. Vanessa realized that this was the only chance to break this conspiracy. Vanessa's threats did not stop there. She not only wanted to expose the truth, but also wanted to make Haley and Randy feel that they could no longer control the situation. She began to sow doubts in the minds of those around her, including those close to Bill. Danny, who was very close to Haley, also began to notice the change in her demeanor. Danny couldn't help but feel that something was wrong, and Vanessa's actions helped her broaden her horizons and get a clearer picture of what was going on. Joey, who is loyal to Bill, is a key cog in Vanessa and Danny's rescue. Together, the three begin to plot a plan to deal with Haley and Randy. Joey, while not wanting to hurt Bill, cannot stand by and watch his brother be deceived. He realizes that Bill needs to know the truth, not only about Haley's betrayal but also about the evil schemes she has concocted. As time goes on, Haley feels the pressure mounting. The drama she has created is slowly unraveling. She begins to sense a change in Bill, in the suspicious looks in his eyes. She is no longer as confident as before. Everything is falling apart around her. She knows that if her plan is exposed, not only her life but the Dupree families will be thrown into an uncontrollable storm. Randy, who once had confidence in his ability to deceive, is now in a state of panic. He never expected to be caught in the small details that he didn't notice. His blind ambition made him fail to realize that the truth always finds a way to come out, no matter how many schemes are put in place to hide it. And now, everything depends on one question. Can Bill save this marriage, or will he become a victim of a conspiracy full of intrigue and lies? Can Haley change and find herself, Or will she continue to plunge down the dark path she has chosen? Desperation and ambition will determine their future. And in a world full of power struggles, no one can predict the final outcome. When all the secrets are finally revealed, everything is on the brink of collapse. Bill, in the throes of betrayal, now faces the most painful decisions of his life. What was once the truth in his marriage suddenly turned into empty lies. The luxurious life Haley had painstakingly built for him was now just a mask covering the deep wounds in his heart. He didn't know if he could continue to live in the shadow of this betrayal, or would he have to face the painful truth that everything he believed in was a game. Haley, faced with the suspicious eyes and resentment of those around her, had no way back. She had built her whole life on lies, and now that betrayal was coming back to haunt her. Her blind ambition, her desire for a life without Bill, had driven her to do something irreversible. But what would happen when she had to face the consequences? Could she continue to pretend and hide in the world she had created? Or would she eventually have to accept the truths she never expected? Randy, despite being a talented con artist, cannot avoid the suspicion of his former allies. Although he may be good at manipulating situations, now that the truth has been revealed, he is no longer the one in control of everything as before. Greed has made him forget his limits, and in that moment he realizes that every plan, every conspiracy, can eventually collapse because of just a small mistake. When Vanessa, Danny, and Joey join hands to destroy Haley and Randy's plan, everything seems beyond saving. An undeniable truth has been brought to light. But can Bill, with all the hurt he has suffered, forgive Haley and save this marriage? Or will he choose another path, the path of freedom, to live a life free from betrayal and lies? For Haley, Randy, Bill, and the characters around them, the biggest question remains. Can they change? Can love redeem past mistakes? Or will ambition forever dominate them? Every decision they make affects not only them but also those around them, especially when more and more secrets are exposed. And in a world full of intrigue and trickery, can they find a way out, or will they be forever trapped in the power game they themselves created? As all these conspiracies gradually reveal themselves, who will be the ultimate winner, and who will be left behind in the dark of betrayal and disappointment? The story continues, opening a new chapter full of surprises, where every decision has unforeseen consequences. Can Bill overcome his wife's betrayal, or will he let anger and disappointment dominate? Can Haley and Randy change their fates, or will they pay the price for their blind ambitions? Secrets and conspiracies are just the tip of the iceberg, and the truth will always find a way to surface eventually. The end of the story is unpredictable, and who will be the last to fall in this dangerous battle? Thank you for taking the time to watch my video. All the content I make is just speculation and personal sharing. If you find the video interesting and useful, please support me with a like and leave a comment. If you have better ideas or more interesting speculations, please share them in the comments section for everyone to discuss. I appreciate all your contributions and support. Sincerely, thank you.